Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to day 3. You see, I got stuff on my face already. I was gonna, let me flip it around. I was gonna film taking this hydraulic hose off, but I knew it was gonna be a mess and my hands were gonna get absolutely caked in all this hydraulic oil and dust. So I got this end off, and I got this end off down here. See, it's just hanging. And you can just see all. Alright, sorry about that. I had a phone call. It's super windy out here, so it might be hard to hear me. But yeah, we got this hose disconnected, and you can see where it was pinched in there. And thankfully it didn't cut it, and somehow it didn't blow that metal out that's in there. So anyway, now all I gotta do is pull this line all the way down this run and get it out of here, which I washed my hands already somewhat, and now I'm just gonna pull on this and get them all nasty again. But anyway, that's part of it. It's gonna be nasty putting the thing back in there. So anyway, and now I know where not to hook this thing up to, so I'll be sure to run it and zip tie it with those other lines that come out of the top, not with those other ones. But yeah, that's how day 3 is starting. We're gonna get this done, and then we run out of diesel too, so we're gonna have to go get the tank filled up. But anyways, I'll come back when we get the new line. All right, so we got the hydraulic hose off. Like I said, it's a pretty long one, probably 20, 25 feet, something like that. But anyway, yeah, we got it off. Forgot I had all my tools and everything out to get this thing off. So we'll put all this up, and then we'll be headed to the store to get us a new line. All right, so we got the new hose. This thing was freaking $358. I'm pretty sure that, because I just replaced this hose, this exact same one in November. I'm pretty sure it was only like 150, maybe 200. So I don't know. This is at a different place, so might not be getting hoses there again. That's the closest place up here. But anyway, so we're gonna get this hose put back on and then go get some gas, and then we'll be back running for today. And my hydraulic pump, man, I hit a freaking huge bump in the road. Thankfully that thing didn't get smashed in there. I need to find a better place for that. But I can't put it in the truck because then I'll have oil everywhere. But anyway, we're gonna get this hose back on here and get back rolling. Alright, so we got the new hose put on there. You can see it's that one bright and shiny, that green hose. Comes down, see I zip tied it up there and right there. And then zip tied it up here so it doesn't rub. And it runs all the way down to that hydraulic cylinder. I guess we can come out on this side. It runs all the way down and pops out right there. So anyway, we got our tools all washed up, got everything cleaned up. That fertilizer will absolutely destroy tools. It don't matter, that chrome vanadium, it don't matter what it's made out of. The fertilizer will eat through all the tools that you have. So anyway, all right, we're gonna go get some gas, and then get to rolling. I guess we're getting diesel. I'll see you then. All right, I just hopped in to fold this boom back in. You can see that new hydraulic line, and you can see that our boom tip has folded in. So everything's working good, but to check and make sure we got enough hydraulic oil. If not, I'll fill it up, and then we'll be good to go. So as you can see, there's no hydraulic oil, and this is our hydraulic. That's how you get the hydraulic oil in there, through that little bitty hole. And hydraulic oil comes in 5-gallon buckets. So this is what I came up with. It's a Milwaukee sump pump. You turn this thing on, that hydraulic oil starts flowing in. It works like a charm, because there ain't no way I'm getting a 5-gallon bucket in there whenever you've got all this stuff in the way. The engineers aren't the smartest when it comes to what's going to work in the field. They just think about what works in the factory. This is the best way to get your hydraulic oil from the bucket into the tank. Using a Milwaukee sump pump. Stick pump, I think is what they call it. Yeah, that's the best way of doing it right there. Because there ain't no way that 5-gallon bucket's getting in there. Alright guys, welcome back. It's day 4. I didn't really film much yesterday, so we're just gonna make this a day 3 and 4 video. Had my fuel gauge sensor went out yesterday, so riding around not knowing how much fuel we got. One of my wheel speed sensors has gone out, so just had a lot of problems yesterday. Had me kind of down in the dumps, just tired of it, I guess. Didn't really feel like filming, but anyway, we're on day 4 now. I saw a comment on day 1 that somebody's wanting to see my setup, so let me go outside and show you. It's a little windy, so hopefully it's not too hard to hear, but I'll show you what we got. Alright, so this is our setup. We've got a 1,000-gallon diesel tank with a 50-gallon DEF tank in the front and a F-150 and then a fertilizer rig. That's about all we got. The retailers, let me go back inside how we can so I work for a lot of times the farmers will call me and say, hey, I want to do these fields and I'm getting the fertilizer from this place. So like right now we're working with Simplot. That's who we're getting our fertilizer from. So Simplot supplies the fertilizer, the truck, the tender, and the truck drivers. So I don't have to have any of that equipment, thankfully. If I did, then there's no way. I'd have to charge way more than I do. But yeah, they handle all that, all the different ones, Nutrien, Simplot, who else? I don't do anything for Helena. They have their own machines. Some of the independent guys and Greenpoint. That's pretty much the ones that I do work for. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of how it works. They bring the tender and the 18-wheeler and the 18-wheeler driver. I bring this. So that's how we do it. And sorry about that, got a phone call. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, my fuel sensor is showing empty. But we're obviously not, because we're pumping. But anyway, yeah, so that's one of the many things we got going on. But other than that, we're ready to rock and roll on day 4. I didn't check the weather. I got shorts and short sleeves on. Yesterday the wind was blowing out of the south at like probably 30 miles an hour, and today it's blowing out of the north at probably 20. So it's cold. I don't know. It didn't rain or nothing, so I don't know where this came from, and it's crazy that it changed like that, but it is what it is. We're gonna keep it rolling.
The perspective.
All right, guys.
The economist cuts.
Wasn't sure if that would stop or not. Yeah, so I just kind of we're out here running in some big fields, and I just wanted to kind of explain my setup a little more. I used to have 2 of these machines, and I had 2 F-250s, and I had 2 fuel trailers. But last fall, I didn't do a single acre, which really put me in a bad spot, put me behind. I don't think anybody did hardly anything. Like one of the major retailers up here, I think they only did like 1,000 acres, and it was all on wheat. So, but anyway, yeah. So that's why I've got a F-150 right now. Is I had to sell both of my F-250s. I had to let my employee go. I had to get rid of that other machine, which it's on lease, so I'm still paying for it. But I haven't paid for it since about November, but the plan is to catch up. So anyway, let me make this turn real quick. So yeah, but anyway, that's the reason why I've only got an F-150. It does fine pulling that trailer. I think when that trailer is full, it weighs about 16,000 pounds, which is definitely more than what you're supposed to be pulling with the F-150. But it pulls it fine. Really, the biggest issue with it is stopping. And whenever it's dry out, there's no problems with stopping. But whenever it's raining and the roads are wet, I've had issues before. Which this is I just got that truck back in November, I believe. So yesterday was the first day going and getting diesel and driving it, and I was happy with it. But when I first started this, I had a Chevy 1500, and you know, insurance pretty much, they told me, they're like, no, you got to get a bigger truck to keep your insurance. So anyways, that's when I ended up getting the F-250. So that Chevy is the one I had trouble with whenever it was wet, with it sliding and not wanting to stop, which the trailer has trailer brakes on it and they work good. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to explain why I don't have an F-250 like I should, or something bigger, you know, something similar. Let me turn. Yeah, so my F-250 I was paying almost $1,000 a month for, and the one I had for my employee I was paying like $600 a month for. So that's $1,600 in truck notes that I was paying, and then insurance on top of that was probably another $200. So let's just say $1,800. Might have been more than that, I don't really know. But yeah, $1,800 a month that I'm saving just by getting rid of those. Now my new truck I got, it was new, but it was one that the manager was driving around, so it already had, the front was leveled and the windshield was tinted, and it had like 3,500 miles on it. So I got a pretty good deal. So now I'm only paying like $490 a month for it. So that saves quite a bit, probably $400. So I'm probably saving about $1,200 a month, I would say, by doing that. And then letting my employee go, that really sucks, because he was really good. He was nothing but good to me. But you know, when stuff happens, you gotta do what you gotta do to try and survive. So that's another probably $5,000 a month that I'm saving right there. Once you pay, you know, their wage, unemployment, all the different taxes and everything else. So anyway, yeah, so I've cut back as much stuff as I can to try and make it, and that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, we're in this big field right now. It's I think it's 100 and something acres, 150, something like that. We're kind of in a bad part of town. The last time I was over here was like at 10 o'clock at night, and gunshots started going off, and then the police sirens kicked up, and I was like, oh man, let me get out of here. So yeah, we're not in the best spot, but let me turn real quick. But anyway, yeah, so just kind of weird, because the houses that are like on that side of the tree line, they look pretty nice. I mean, they don't look bad, but the ones like back over there, and you go a couple streets over, and it gets rough really quick. It's just kind of the abandoned side of town. Lots of burned out houses and stuff. Like this tree line right here is an old rail bed that ran out to the Air Force base over there, which is abandoned. You can see the watchtower. Now it's an airplane scrapyard, so you can see all the big jets and stuff over there where they're scrapping out planes for parts. But it was really cool during COVID though, because they used that to park all the planes on, since they ran out of space everywhere else. So that it was absolutely packed full of planes. But let me turn real quick. But yeah, that's the old rail bed that ran out to the Air Force Base that is abandoned. Yeah, you can kind of tell that it's up high. Let me turn around. But yeah, so this town was really booming back while the Air Force Base was open, and they closed it in the 90s, and things have really gone downhill since then. It used to be a really nice place, not so much anymore. But anyway, we're gonna keep on rolling, get this knocked out, and yeah, try and get as much done as we can today. We're only running 100 pounds to the acre, so we can do 130, 140 acres of load. So should be pretty quick and easy running. This wind is so dirty you can barely see out of it. But yeah, that's the setup. That's a Simplot trailer and a let me turn. But yeah, so Simplot supplies the trailer and the fertilizer and the truck driver. The truck driver is they get paid hourly, so they're not a Simplot employee. They're like a contractor, I guess you'd call them. So that's how a lot of these companies around here work. They pay them hourly to come out here and sit with me and load and unload and do all that stuff. So it's pretty easy as a one-man guy until something goes wrong, when you broke down and you got to call somebody to come get you. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna keep it rolling. Also, these things look goofy. My biggest issue working all day is staring at this screen. So I bought these clip-on blue light reflecting things, and they look super goofy, and everything looks yellow. But I don't know. My eyes do, as soon as I put them on, my eyes just felt better. I don't know. It could be just a placebo, but who knows. But they look super goofy, but if they work, hey, that's all I care about. Yeah, staring at this screen, I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't know. Something just absolutely kills my eyes, and I think it's the screen, because the old machines had a bar on the hood that would tell you where to turn onto your rows to hit your AB line, and they quit making those, so now you have to look at this number up here. So I'm constantly, every time I'm turning, I'm having to stare at this screen until I hit just a 20, and then I cut it hard to line up on my AB line. And I don't know, my eyes always hurt by the end of the day. So we're gonna try this out and see if it's any better. Those over there are all the planes I was talking about. You can kind of see them. They've got them all stacked in over there. All the different planes where they've got the scrap yard over there. Anyway, we're moving on to the next field. All right, guys, we got raindrops on the windshield. Looks like it's not much of a shower. I mean, it ain't like a big storm or nothing. Hopefully it moves on along and stuff doesn't get too wet. This spot right in the middle of my glass is annoying, where you can't see very well, but it is what it is. We're keeping it rolling, and hopefully it stops raining so we can get this finished for today. But anyway, I'll check back in with you later. Alright guys, so the rain moved us. It got a little sticky over there, and I didn't want to rut anything up. It was starting to leave a little bit of a track down on the bottom end, so we moved over to a field that's got a bunch of dead poana and other stuff in it. It's not going to leave a rut. It's going to hold up, and it's still sprinkling, so think we're just gonna run out what I got on me. I think I've got about 8,000 pounds or so on me. This will be about 80 acres, so we're gonna run that out and call it a day, and get fired back up in the morning. All right, guys, so that's gonna be the end of day 4. It's still light outside, which is rare, especially since I still have stuff to do, but that rain just slowed us down. I went ahead and sent the truck driver home. Probably shouldn't have, because these fields over here are fine, but that's all right. We should get finished up on Monday, and we got another 1,000 acres on a different job to do Tuesday. So anyway, we got 3 more days to get this done. Shouldn't be a problem. It won't take us, I figure Monday we should get done and be able to start on that next job. So anyway, we did 440, 500, we probably did 700 acres a day, something like that. So not a bad day. Could have done more, could have probably done 800 or 900 a day, but went ahead and called it early just so we didn't rut anything up. But yeah, that'll be it for day 4. I'll see you guys back on day 5.